A Super AMOLED display, 120Hz, the Exynos 1480, a 50 megapixel main sensor, and a 5000 mAh battery. It's that time of the year again for the people's favorites. This is my review of the new Samsung Galaxy A55. Let's get it. Let's start with the pricing. For the 825GB variant, this year is going to be sold for $5,599, and for the 128 it's going to be sold for $5,299. So I'm going to convert it into dollars and put it on the screen, so you should know what to expect in your country. And for colors this time around, we have the awesome ice blue and the navy. This year's device has a similar design to last year's model, with flattened off sides but a curved side for the volume rocker and the power button. For the frame, we have a metallic frame, which is an upgrade from what we had last year. We also have a glass back and a Corning Gorilla Glass Victus Plus protected display. Another upgrade to last year's model, very nice to see. We have a dual SIM card tray at the top, but you have to choose between 2 SIM cards or an SD card, and this can take up to 1 TB if you decide to use an SD card. At the bottom, we have a Type-C port and a stereo speaker setup. Of course, we have a triple camera setup at the back, and we get an IP67 dust and water resistance for this year's device. So if you find yourself in the rain or splashes or dust, you should be okay with this device. I like the premium feel of the Samsung Galaxy A55. The metallic frame makes it feel really nice, and the glass at the back makes it feel like, okay, now if I drop it, I'm actually going to break it. Weirdly, those are features of premium devices, which we have here. Now let's talk about the display. We have a 6.6 inches Full HD Plus Super AMOLED display with 1000 nits of brightness, and this provides immersive viewing anywhere that you go. The refresh rate and the vision booster improves visibility by optimizing the colors and contrast even under the sunlight. And we have a Corning Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on the display, but guys, trust me, I just came from using the S24 Plus and the display even scratched, so make sure you get a protector for this. Tomorrow I'm definitely going to put a protector on this, but so far it looks neat, but I don't know how long it's going to be neat for. The bezels are still there, but not so crazy. Coming from the S24 Plus, you can actually see this is very visible, but it's not the worst thing I've seen. At least they have equal bezels all around the device from the top to bottom. They are all the same, so they look very, very clean. So for experience and all, you are not going to be disappointed. YouTube videos can stream up to 2160p. It gets very bright even when you're using it outdoors, and has good viewing angles too. Enjoying content, you're going to like the stereo speaker setup that is found on here. It sounds really good, and the in-display fingerprint works really well. But it's not an ultrasonic, so you have to be very intentional when using it. As you can see, getting into your device might be a hassle sometimes. You have to place your fingers right to get into the device. In all, the display, just like most Samsung devices, looks really nice. I like the very minimal bezels and equal bezels all around the display. 1000 nits brightness makes it really good, and I like the additional protection when it comes to the Corning Gorilla Glass that they used here. The display on here is not going to disappoint. Just that the under display fingerprint sensor is not the fastest I've seen. Now let's talk about performance. This is where we have one of the improvements for this year. You get a newly made Exynos 1480. This is the 4nm chipset, Android 14, One UI 6.1, 8GB of RAM or 12GB memory options, and 128GB of storage or 256GB of storage option depending on where you find yourself. And for micro SD card support, you can get up to 1 TB. This new processor makes it very easy when it comes to multitasking, performance, and gaming and streaming, paired with the capabilities of 5G. But unfortunately, we don't have 5G here, but it's still good to know when 5G decides to get here, we are covered with our devices. Software feels good, opens and closes fast. One UI is pretty clean at this point. Device performs really well for a mid-range device. We don't have most of the AI features that were features in their flagship devices, but this also is very, very capable. When it comes to gaming, Call of Duty played very well. The gameplay was actually very okay. I didn't experience any kind of lags or the likes, and the device stayed cool throughout my gameplay. Even after 30 minutes, my device wasn't the warmest that I felt in comparison to other devices. For PUBG, you actually get a similar result too. Gameplay on this device is actually very enjoyable. For the Geekbench, the single core on this device reached the thousands, which was higher than the previous generation, and also the multi-core as well. Even when it comes to Antutu, you should be expecting a higher rating this time around in comparison to the previous version. And Samsung is going to be giving us 4 years of OS updates, unlike the 7 years we're going to get with their flagship devices. But I still think it's pretty cool. This is going to be functional even in 2028. Now, let's talk about the cameras. For the cameras, we have a 50 megapixel main sensor, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, a 5 megapixel macro lens, and a 32 megapixel selfie camera. And I think these pictures look really good. Check them out. When it comes to the portrait pictures, it did an amazing job at separating the subject from the background. I think it's really cool. For regular pictures, this looks very nice. It has a lot of details and sharpness in it. You're definitely going to enjoy it as well. Most of the pictures were leaning a little bit to the warmer side, but in general, for a mid-range device, I actually liked it. For videos, this is able to shoot 4K 30 FPS, and these are sample footages to expect. Okay, so this is a selfie camera video test on the Samsung Galaxy A55. We're currently shooting at UHD 30 FPS. What do you think about the colors, the skin tones, dynamic range? Also, let's test out the stabilization. We're going to jog there and back. Tell me how it looks like. That's me running. Let's go back. How does the stabilization look? Let me know in the comment section down below. And also, how do I sound? Now, let's switch to the main camera. And now, this is how I look on the main camera as well, shooting at UHD 30 FPS. Once again, let's test out the stabilization, jog there and back. Let's see how it looks like. I can't really tell how it looks like. So you guys should tell me in the comment section down below. How does it look when it comes to stabilization on the Samsung Galaxy A55? Also, skin tones, dynamic range, video quality, let me know in the comment section down below. Night mode pictures have been made better due to the new Exynos chipset that is found on here, and I think these look decent as well. Now let's talk about the battery life. This comes with a 5000 mAh battery and supports 25 watts of wired fast charging, and will take about an hour and a half to fully charge, and you can easily use it even for 2 days if you are not a heavy user like me. I found myself using it for 2 days and it was absolutely fine. So all in all, what do I think about the new Samsung Galaxy A55? Apart from the price being about 5,000 Ghana cedis, the device feels really good. The 120Hz display though, if you are coming from a flagship device, you are definitely going to see the difference between a flagship device 120Hz and a mid-range device 120Hz. They are not the same. But this is more affordable in comparison to this, so I think it's actually still worth it. Performance was good, we didn't get any AI, but we still have 4 years of OS support, and One UI is very clean. Display, one of the best, and cameras are actually decent. So let me know what you think about this so far. Is this worth the upgrade if you are coming from Samsung Galaxy A54? Let me know what you think about in the comment section down below. And if you're new to this channel, subscribe, and as usual, stay liquid, and I'll see you in my next upload. Peace, I'm out.